My brothers and sisters in Christ, this is Loran. This is No Power. I ain't gonna say my name, even though most of you probably do know my name. But anyway, I just want to read this. I'm reading from Matthew 10, verse 32. It says, "Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loses his life for my sake shall find it." That's Matthew 10, 32 through 39. Now, I read this because I just wanted to get one thing straight first. Jesus did not come to bring peace on earth. Jesus did not come to bring peace between people of different religions. Jesus came to be the peace for people who put their faith and trust in him. Jesus came for peace between those who believe in him. But Jesus understands that by putting your trust in Christ and following after him and believing his teachings will put you diametrically opposed to others who don't hold it. And they will not want to live in peace with you. Now, I'm saying all this because we have Terry Jones, the pastor who burned the Quran, coming to Dearborn, Michigan, which is I live in Detroit, and what's really bothering me is I see these Christians thinking and doing God some type of service by taking up and siding with the Muslims, by holding their arms with the Muslims and acting as if God is against preaching against Islam or disrespecting Islam, which is just really bad to think that way, because it shows that, one, people think backwards. We think from a now time back instead of thinking of back to front. What people don't understand is Islam is a religion that set itself against Christianity from its inception. When Muhammad preached his Quran, he was showing himself to be a rival to the already established Christian faith. He came denying the essentials of the Christian gospel, the Christian faith, the things that Jesus said about himself. One, that he was the Son of God. Jesus said this even about himself. Peter called him the Son of God, and Jesus said, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah." He blessed him. But in the Quran, it's a curse to say that Jesus is the Son of God. You are cursed Allah's curse is on you if you believe that according to them. So we need to understand something. We are not, we're putting Islam on the same level as Christianity. We're putting it as like a brother religion, or in the same category as like Judaism, which, like it's a brother religion when it's not. It's a direct contradiction to Christianity. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know about Islam. I've studied Islam. I know what they believe. I I I can't quote every verse of the Quran, or I'm even with the Bible. I don't really quote scriptures. I understand them as they're written. So I could read. I've read the Quran. I haven't read through the whole thing because I just couldn't get through it. Once I started reading and seeing that the person who wrote it had a bad understanding of the Bible, I knew that he had a bad understanding of the scriptures, that I couldn't get through. I'm like, this guy don't even know what he's talking about. And this is their prophet. But this is their prophet set himself against Christianity. He was saying, well, I got the real thing. Y'all need to change y'all thing. And yes, he was peaceful at first, but then he became unpeaceful. So that didn't last. Anyway, it's just strange to me to see that Christians actually believe that God wants us praying with people who believe we cursed. Want us holding hands with people that believe that we are foolish for what we believe. This is what they believe. They do not believe what you believe. If they believe what you believe, if Muhammad believed what we believe, there would be nothing called Islam. That he would be a Christian. So why are we standing with Muslims? Now we could say, if you're against what Terry Jones did, I could see that. Like I said, my issue though, I watched this interview with Terry Jones and Imam and a Christian guy, Christian pastor, who was calling Terry Jones a so-called Christian, but to me he's a so-called Christian because he's buddy-buddy with the Muslim. I mean, in the wrong way. See, there's a segment in Christianity, usually they're Methodists, some of the Catholics, Presbyterian, the Lutherans, some of the Lutheran churches, which focus on the Sermon on the Mount. These Christians seem to think the Sermon on the Mount is the only part of the Bible that's important. That's the only thing important that Jesus said. Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself, Sermon on the Mount. That's it. That's all. The fact that Jesus sent his disciples out to preach the gospel to people that had religion already. The thing is, people seem to forget that. He sent people out. He sent his disciples out to people that had religion already. Jesus himself spoke out against false religion in his own backyard. Jesus himself, he went into the temple. He chased them out because they was doing something wrong. Jesus himself said that he wasn't coming to bring peace in that way. So why do we think we're doing God's service, or we're helping out the cause of Christ, when you're sitting there acting like this Muslim man? Religion is on the same level as the religion that Christ founded. All you're doing is being what's the word? I'm not a sponsor, but you're being an advertisement for the Muslim religion. It's just bad because the thing is, the stuff that the pastor was saying, even though he messed up because he don't have all his facts. But the spirit of what he was saying is totally true. He was trying to say was that he's in Europe for 30 years and he's seen Sharia law taking root in Europe. He don't want to see it happening here. That's basically what he's trying to say, but that part kept getting lost because uh, right now the media, liberal media, for some reason wants to be on the side of Islam, and so the thing is, it's like everybody was ganging up on him, even Hugh Perkins. But so they trying to make the Imam look bad and make him look so bad, but what people don't understand, they don't see is that Sharia law is a real threat outside the United States of America. In Muslim countries that practice Sharia law, if a Christian tried to preach the gospel to a Muslim, he could be killed under Sharia law. That's their law. That's in just about every Muslim country. They can kill you for that. If a Muslim converts from Christianity in a Muslim country, he can be killed and his family members will be the one to kill him. Now, you'll say, well, what that got to do with us? This is America. Islam is a religion that is trying to conquer the world for real. People want to make that hate like you just making stuff up, but that's their goal. Just like it's the Christians' goal. Our goal is to conquer the world, but we understand there's the times when they didn't understand. You're not supposed to use the sword. We believe by preaching the gospel. You know, that's our person to say. But right now, Islam is not the majority, so they're gonna live by our laws right now. So what the guy was trying to say that, you know, not to get that established, because if they become a majority, then they will have Sharia law here, which will, if that ever happens, that is what will happen. But anyway, but I would tell you this: we had a debate with Muslims at the Islamic Center. Pastor Moss, my pastor, was debating with a couple of some Muslims, and on the panel was a former Muslim turned Christian. After the debate was over, a group of men was huddled around him. One of the guys turned to the guy who turned to a Christian. He said, "Man, if you were back home, we would kill you." He said that. This is real. And nobody rebuked that guy from Islam. So all these people saying they moderates. In Islam, you can lie for the cause of Islam. That Imam can sit there and say, "No, Sharia, no, we wouldn't do that. We love you." All them other people, they fanatics and all that stuff. We would never do that. But those same people was back home, they'll be stoning. They would be stoning a dude that go from Islam to Christianity. So that's the reality of religion. Yes, they are peaceful people until they're not peaceful people. Yes, a lot of them are some of the most peaceful people you find, but they do have it in them because it's taught in the Quran to go to violence whenever they deem it necessary. So if you say something bad about Muhammad, you could kill somebody for that reason. If somebody turned to Christianity, you could kill them. If somebody tried to preach Christianity to a Muslim, they could kill them. And if they were back home, they would help kill the people. Those same peaceful people. Wake up. Wake up.